the fuck you guys doing? I'd like to thank all the new subscribers. That's flipping awesome. I'm on my way to 600. That's pretty cool. So excuse me if I sound like I'm weird today. Could not sleep last night. I was up at like 12:15, and then I started thinking about this project, unrelated, but I ended up watching a bunch of videos from Charles Briscoe and then Iron Horse about reed valve saws. So, but I am really fucking overtired. I left work early because I was just like, I work with heavy equipment, well, like machinery, and yeah, that's not a good mix. Don't know what it is, why I can't sleep. But anyways, so here's the dealio. I am doing this reed valve Zenoa clone, Beijing Banshee. So I'm not gonna say I got up early because I was already fucking up. To make parts to turn this into a reed, and my whole plan here was to use the reed block and intake manifold from a Homelight Super Mini. Super easy. You guys, if you're a Homelight guy, you know what I'm talking about. And it seemed to work well. So I spent, you'll have to excuse the machining, I kind of did the Etch-a-Sketch method, but it worked. I mean, it's not the prettiest thing, but it will work. If I do another one ever, I'll do it nicer. So that's machined in there because it had to have a recess for this black piece on the reed block. But it's nice in there. And that will bolt right onto the intake manifold of the Zenoa clone. So that is good. So, first step is I'm going to mount... Riley dog, what's up? Riley's just chilling about. I'm going to mount this to here, and I had it on a cylinder I had to work it, and it wasn't sitting flat. So then I filed the crap out of it. It still wasn't sitting flat, so I actually checked it with my combination square, which is a good one. I'd work to use the Mitotoyo combination squares. They're not cheap. But anyways, that is flat. The casting on the other one, which was a cylinder I stopped using because it was the tolerances seemed really out of whack. So I stopped using it, and hopefully this will sit flat on this guy. And I think it will. Oh yeah. Yeah, that other cylinder was just a pile of shit. That's good to know though. But I'm still going to use a gasket and motoseal because I do not want this particular part to leak. When I was test fitting on the other cylinder, I thought I was going up to GB weld that seal X. I think Charles Briscoe did that on one of his because TIG welding this cast shit would be, I wouldn't even bother. I mean, I TIG weld aluminum all the fucking time. I'm bleeding, Jesus Christ. Okay, so need a gasket. I have a gasket in here. And I need some mounting screws. Riley, are you helping, or are you being counterproductive? Some brand new mounting screws. So, take some motoseal. Take that and rub it all over there. Oh yeah, it's nice. And this gasket sits like so. And this guy, put it on this surface. Fucking leaking. That's when this morning was on the mill, just randomly. So it wasn't actually when I was milling I cut myself there. That was I was grabbing a tool in my toolbox and I like just somehow slammed into one of the drawer slides of my toolbox at work. Anyways, it is what it is. I get cut so often I don't even fucking feel it anymore. Just go on like that. Good. These are countersunk down, so these will just pop right down there. If I ever have to do this again, I'm going to take a little more time machining because I made this block. This took me like half an hour to make. Like, that's just all of this I'm kind of doing off the top of my head. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just hoping this thing will run after. That'd be pretty neat. That would be really neat, actually. Okay. We have a lot of motoseal when this goes back together. I still don't know what I'm going to do about the, like I said, I'm making this up as I go. I don't know what I'm going to do about the, fuck, I'm so overtired. The throttle linkage. I have to do something inventive about that. Choke linkage, I'm not going to worry about too much, because that can just be, because the carburetor is going to be kind of sticking up in the air anyway. Someone can just pull it up. And I'm just going to pause this for a second. And I am back. Sorry, wife was texting me. I had to read it. Okay, get this nice and snug. I'm glad this, yeah, that should seal up nicely on this one. Make sure everything looks hunky-dory in there. If I could. Okay, so that the intake block is on. I should make sure this actually sit on there properly. Just kind of worried about the clearance of this one good part. Okay, I'd have to do something about that. I'm gonna take a bit out of this. Yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna pause you guys for a second. Okay, so that was one of those oversights. Not an oversight. I expected there to be some fitting, but I had to take out a bunch of that on the bottom. But it is what it is. So next, that can set up. There's nothing more to do to that. I have to swap pistons out on this guy. Because the new piston, I modified to help transfer, because it's a reed saw. I just milled that out and then put a slot in it. I didn't take out the entire skirt because I didn't know if that would cause a problem. I really don't know. Like I said, I'm flying by the seat of my pants here. Guys, I just swapped this over, and I'm just going to pause it. You guys don't need to learn how to swap piston, because I'm sure you guys, if you're watching this, you guys already know how to do that. Anyways, take it easy. See you in a bit. Okay, YouTube, I am back. I got the cylinder on. There's a little bit of diddle fucking with that. Anyways, the block is on now. I gotta get the reed cage and stuff on, and that is somewhere right here. When I took it to work, I didn't take the actual reeds because with my luck I would have lost them, and that would be no bueno. So I'll get the reeds back on here. Although you can make reeds out of all kinds of things. You can use pop can if you want. In a pinch, I mean, I wouldn't recommend. I was lucky enough to have a bunch of used reeds from acrylic saws, the flat ones for like the really old saws that, I can say that nobody wants, but the old ones. And they did very well for cutting other reeds out of them. Same with old Pioneer ones. Someone's gonna comment like, "Oh, you're tearing apart old Pioneers for their reeds." Like, no, they're junk saws with roach cylinders, and they're too old to fix. Let's get some motoseal on there. Be a very motoseal heavy day today. Some motoseal on there, even just to. I really hope this thing runs. I give it a 50-50 if it'll actually run. I mean, it'd be awesome if it did, but at the same time, it kind of is what it is. First one there, just to try and hold that reed cage retainer in there. I don't want, if anything, I just don't want air leaks. It'd be sad for it to run, but I have to tear it all apart just because there's some kind of air leak and stuff that's harder to get to. Which the reed block, although won't be super hard to get to, I just prefer not to deal with that shit, right? Okay, so we got that. That goes on there, right? Get all the motoseal off the reed cage. Need the reeds to open. Okay. Reed cage has entered its home. Now the intake block, which is also off a home like super easy or super mini, depending where you live. Here we don't. They're all in Canada. That series I saw, we had the XL1, the Super Mini, and then later the XL1 Automatic, which was basically a Super Mini. I won't get into that. Homelight did weird things with naming and stuff over the years, especially between Canada and the United States, because they had two different plants, yada yada yada. But anyways, enough of that rambling. Okay. I think one of these, I should have probably put this on beforehand, but hindsight's 2020. Get started. Also, this block I made is just 6061 aluminum, which there are much better aluminums. But this is what we had. I'm not gonna order a whole length of 3/4 inch by whatever flat bar just for fucking around with the chainsaw. Because material is not exactly cheap these days. Yeah, I should have totally put this on first, but I'm sure I will manage. I'm really hoping the impulse line will reach, otherwise I'm going to have to splice it because it's too late to put a longer hose on. Doesn't want to take everything back apart, which I do not. No way, Jose. Okay, let's see if I can blast the screw in. No, I should be able to do it. It's going to be a little fucky, but not too bad. Less than 2 months, the wife and I are going to be in Mexico. I can't fucking wait. It should be nice and cold and 30 below here in Edmonton. We do our yearly pilgrimage to the, not necessarily Port of Vallarta, but that area. If you haven't been, that's a great area to go to, especially if you go north to Bucerías or Saluita. Saluita is kind of a hippie place. If you want to get high and smoke weed all the time, I guess Saluita would be good. I got nothing against marijuana. The marijuana weed, the devil's lettuce, it's legal here in Canada. Edibles are okay sometimes, but it's one of those things where take it or leave it. Felt like beer. I can drink beer every day if I want to, but I don't, because that's bad. Okay. We have an intake manifold. Let's see. That's going to be all caulked up, so this carb is going to be sitting a little funky. This carb I'm using, this isn't the one that was on it. The one that was on it had nylon barbs, which I prefer the non-nylon barbs. So if that's on there like that, it should not be an issue. Put this chunk of rubber out, and then just fold it down, I guess. So, okay, carbureteur. So that's gonna sit there. Yeah, I don't think the linkage I'm gonna have to modify too badly actually. Probably just do it while it's here. That is one important thing. Make sure the linkage, make sure the carburetor will actually do its carburetor things. Yeah, the fuel line's kind of pissing me off right now. Okay, so that's like that. That's on there tight. That'll actually be fine. I gotta do that piece of. I actually hate fucking with throttle linkage. It's like kind of like my nemesis almost. So if we tweak that up a little more like that, tweak it up like so, and then tweak that back a little like so. Maybe that'll be closer. Definitely closer. It still needs to angle up a bit more. Too much. Let's see if we can work with that. Oh yeah. That should be good where it is now, I think. Okay, I think we're golden. I think we are golden with the location of that. I'm going to turn this barb roughly 180 degrees, unless it's, okay, there we go. It's going to allow me to. That's not going to work. Okay, will that work? Will that work? No, that will not work. So we're going to have to tent it up like that. This is why I switched to the one with brass fittings, because with the nylon fittings, they don't like being twisted around so much, as you may or may not know. Anyways, this is actually coming along a lot flipping better than I thought it would. Having said that, though, I need to go trim down some screws, because I know they're going to be too long. I see if I can find my torque bit I was using yesterday, which should be on this table somewhere. Okay, where the fuck is that? Where the fuck did you go? It's another reminder. I was going to bring a bunch of torque bits back from work, or torque screwdrivers, because they are handy to have at home. I never use them at work. Okay, pause you guys for a bit while I look for that bit. Okay, I am back, and I shortened these machine screws by about roughly 3/8 of an inch. Should be plenty. Should be thread in. Okay, those should be alright, hopefully. That'll be fine. Okay, so, next step, get that fuel line out of the way. Jelly, knock it off! Your dog's yelling at the mailman or something. Okay, so, brand new gasket. Got the air intake. Need that thing. I'm going to try and get the throttle in here first. Might be easier. I don't know. So always the carburetor dance can be frustrating sometimes because you're juggling multiple pieces at once. But I think this will go pretty good. Now is the gasket. Ooh, let me hold this gasket. Oh, yeah, okay. Again, this is just another surplus Tillotson HS carb gasket I'm using. Okay, look at that. Okay, well, need to get in the hole. That'd be a good idea. See, one thing about doing it this way, it's going to stay relatively compact. In theory. If things cooperate. So one thing I want to do this winter is get the light better down here. Because we're not going into an acreage for a while. Oh, why are you being such a dirty little whore? Excuse my French. So when I say shorten these screws, I used an angle grinder, so there could be a little bit of burr at the end of this one. Oh yeah, now it's fine. Now it is cooperating. Twist that fuel line up a bit more. Submit to the wire, that guy. Yeah, I'm kind of worried about this impulse line. Might be a little short, which is not good. But that's just one of life's little problems when messing with saws, I guess. Okay. That's so close, that's so flippin' close. Switch that. I'm gonna pause you guys for a bit here. Okay, after the 20 minutes that I was not recording, I got everything sorted out, I believe. I had to extend the impulse line because it would just reach, but I did not like the way it was routed, so I extended that. Throttle linkage works. I'm gonna leave throttle linkage for now, but as Scotty would say, it's a wee bit dodgy, because it is a wee bit dodgy. It'll work. It'll let me know if it runs. I can tweak it after. It is what it is, I guess. So from here, oh, it's probably need a spark plug. I was worried about not being able to get a spark plug in. Oh, that's gonna be so close to that air filter. What if I have a shorter spark plug? I might actually. If I do, I'm gonna throw it on. Might not like it, but it's just gonna have to deal with it. It's a little shorter. Barely shorter, but it is shorter. Yeah, it's gonna be the weird things that cause you problems. Either of these should be good. Either of these plugs should be good. But this might be a situation where that extra, 16th of an inch makes it between go and no go. And I wanted to go. I probably need the scrunch in. No! So close. So I also have a 19mm wrench here somewhere. Oh, if I did. I got 3/4. It's just as flipping good. FYI, ladies and gentlemen, 19mm and 3/4 are essentially the same flipping size. Yeah, it's gonna be tight. It's gonna be very tight. Okay. Get this going on yeah, I think it will seal, but that is so fucking tight. Let me get this top cover on it all. Now would be the time ish. If I remembered what I was doing. Oh, that spark plug's looking good. I'm pissed off it's not. Okay, so I can still use the top cover. So this thing needs a muffler first, because the muffler is a bit of a dick to try to get in. I'm going to pause you guys. I'm going to watch me play the muffler. There's another video where I'm installing this muffler. So okay, YouTube, this is all back together. So air filter's on. Throttle should work. I just gotta wait for motoseal to set up. Tomorrow I can try running this, providing it does run, which I'm giving it a 50-50. If it does run, I'm sure there could be some tuning issues. Yeah, there's gonna be some tuning issues. I'll have to drill some holes in here so I can tune it. That's something I have to do. But yeah, apart from that, I mean, it went pretty flipping good. There's some stupid challenges putting it back together, like really stupid stuff where it's like, oh, it's nothing to do with the reed setup, just me being an idiot. But yeah, it should be good to go. Reed valve, Chinese Zenoa clone, or redmax, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, here's YouTube. Take her easy. Bye.